Hello everyone, this is Overboy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2003 movie Freddy vs. Jason. Um, the movie is directed by Ronnie Yu, who also directed uh, Bride of Chucky, and is written by Mark Swift and Damian Shannon, who would later go on to write the 2009 Friday the 13th reboot and 2017's Baywatch. Um, this movie follows Freddy after being killed. He uh, is forgotten by the teenagers in Springwood, and pretty much he can't come back and kill anybody or anything because nobody remembers him and everything. And when Jason gets dragged to hell, he meets Jason and resurrects him and sends him to Elm Street to kill some people to try to get people to remember Freddy or remember him. And after Jason kills a couple people, that people start remembering who Freddy is, but then Jason won't stop killing people, so it causes Freddy to want to fight Jason and everything. So pretty much from there on, the movie is pretty much going back and forth between Jason and Freddy fighting, and the humans that are kind of like trying to get Jason away from Springfield so that they don't have to worry about being killed by him, and also that they want to get Freddy brought into the real world so that Jason can end him so that they can go about their lives again. The cast is pretty good. Monica Keena, who was on the short-lived TV show Undeclared, and she's been in some other movies, mostly independent movies, and a couple other independent horror movies and stuff. She's pretty good. She plays Lori Campbell, the girl who's now living in the house that Nancy used to live in on Elm Street and everything. And her boyfriend Will is played by Jason Ritter, who's the son of John Ritter, who had been in Bride of Chucky, which was also directed by Ronnie Yu. I think that was kind of I thought that was kind of cool that he cast his son in this. He was pretty good. The chemistry between the two of them works pretty good. The other characters are, for the most part, decent. Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child plays Kia, Laurie's best friend, and she's good for the most part, but her acting is a little bit off, but it's not too awful bad. I don't think her acting was as bad as a lot of people have said. She could have been, and I don't think her character was as unlikable as some people say too. I mean, she wasn't as bad as Busta Rhymes in Halloween Resurrection, but I think at that time they were really trying to get popular rappers and R&B artists to be in the horror movies to spike interest and everything. She was decent. Brendan Fletcher plays Mark, who is Will's best friend, and he's one of the ones that actually remembers Freddy because his brother was killed by Freddy, and him and Will had been stuck in I think it's the same mental hospital that Nightmare on Elm Street 3 took place. I think it's Weston Hills, was the name of it. And everything. They get put in there after uh, to try because they're afraid of them remembering who Freddy is, or Mark knowing who Freddy is would make it where he would fully be able to come back to power and stuff. But they escape when they find out that one of Laurie's friend's boyfriends was murdered in the house, and he wants to make sure that Laurie's okay and everything. But all the human characters are decent. Actually, kind of like most of them, and kind of want to see some of them live. Some of them you kind of know are just kind of there to die. I think the one character though that I was kind of sad to see die was Lenderman, who was played by Chris Marquette. He's been in some other good movies. The Girl Next Door, and he was in Fanboys, and it's been in a few other good movies. But I really liked him. He was a good, really cool character. Everything, but the deaths in this movie are pretty awesome for the most part. Some of them are like really brutal, and then some of them they kind of cut away a little bit, but you know what happens and everything. But there's enough gore and everything, and the big fight between Freddy and Jason is awesome, as it should have been. Robert Englund is once again excellent as Freddy. Is probably one of my favorite times or favorite performances of his as Freddy, because this is one of the first ones that I had ever seen. Ken Kersinger plays Jason, and he's really good as Jason. I like the way they make him like really slow moving and everything. Just something about it kind of makes me feel like he was just really great for this movie. He played him very well. I know a lot of people wish that Kane Hodder would have came back and everything, but the studio didn't want him because they wanted someone that was a lot taller than Robert Englund and everything, and I think they made the right choice. But the story was pretty well done. I mean, for a movie that had been in the works since the 80s, it really wasn't that bad. Now, this was kind of my introduction to Freddy. I had already seen all of the Jason movies, and before I saw this one, I had only seen the first Nightmare on Elm Street. I think maybe Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I had only seen those two, so I wasn't really that into Freddy, but I knew who he was. But back then I was more of a Jason fan and everything, and I was really excited for this movie because I had seen all of the movies, everything. I'd watched them all on cable to prepare to see this one, and I wanted to watch all the Freddys, but I just didn't have a way to at that time because they didn't play them as much on TV at that time and everything. But I remember I wanted to go see this movie in the theater so bad, but I didn't get to because I was only like 11 years old, and I had to have an adult go with me, and there weren't any adults that were really willing to see it with me, so I didn't get to go see it in the theater. But as soon as it got on VHS, I was able to talk my mom into renting it and for me, and I just fell in love with the movie. It's been one of my favorites ever since, and for both Freddy and Jason and everything. I kind of don't like some of the things they do with Jason. I don't like how they kind of made him out to be a hero, because Jason's not supposed to be a hero, but they kind of made him like the hero of the story, and I didn't like that, but I love that they kept Freddy as the villain, and there were scenes in there like when Freddy jumps out of the water during the dream sequence when he almost had Jason drowned. He looked like really evil and creepy looking. I just thought that was awesome and everything. And I thought Robert Englund was just really great in this. It felt like he was really evil and stuff, and but he was still kind of funny and stuff too. Had a few one-liners and stuff that we've come to love from Freddy. So I thought they balanced. This was the best balance of the evil, creepy Freddy and the comedic Freddy that we've had in a long time, probably since Dream Warriors. But this is one of my, like I said, this is just one of my favorite movies of all time. There are some things I don't like about it. The cinematography isn't bad, but I don't like the way they did some of the lighting. Too much red and blue lights. And the CGI was pretty noticeable back then, but it's even more noticeable now, especially after rewatching all of the other Nightmare on Elm Street movies that have nothing but great practical effects and stuff for the most part. So CGI in this, like the CGI worm that Freddy had used to possess a character, I thought that was kind of really bad looking, and the concept was kind of silly, because if Freddy could do that, then why did he have to have Jason? He could have possessed somebody else and just went around killing people, someone else's body, to make them remember him. But I'm still glad they did, of course, the way they did, because we wouldn't have gotten to see these two great horror icons fighting. But I do kind of wish we would have gotten a little bit more fighting scenes with them, but for the most part I like how they did it. They evened it out, kind of. Jason was losing in Freddy's dream world, and then when Freddy came out, he pretty much lost in Jason's world, although Monica Keena is really the one that ended the fight. So they kind of left it where the winner was up to the viewer and everything. But I'd give Freddy vs. Jason a 9.5 out of 10. Like I said, this is just one of my favorite movies, partially because it's one of the movies that really got me interested in these characters, because at the time when it first came out, I was still really new to both of them. I had just seen all the Friday the 13th movies, and I was still really new to Freddy. I didn't actually get to see all of the Freddy movies until a few years after it came out, but this was just one of those that I really loved back then, and I still love it as much as I do now. It still holds up to me, except for some of the CGI, and like I said, I don't like some of the lighting, but for besides that, I can't really complain. But anyway, feel free to like and subscribe if you want, and let me know in the comments what you thought about Freddy vs. Jason, if you thought it was as good as it could have been, or if you think it should have been a lot better. Follow me on Facebook at OgreBoy1992, and if you love horror movies, be sure to check out the group Killer Flicks. It's all about horror movies and TV shows and pretty anything that's involved with horror. It's a great group on Facebook, and thank you for watching this video, and have a good day.